ready? Hey guys, it's Anisha Collins here with another episode for AC's Corner, and this week I am interviewing my dad. Hey guys, so it's Anisha Collins again, and I'm so excited about this episode because I'm here to talk to you guys about someone that I think has strongly influenced my work ethic. So he doesn't even know what I'm going to ask him. This is totally like on the fly for him. And so this is my dad, and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dad, and nice to meet you.
Okay, so, you don't have to be so,
You're editing this, right?
Yes. Okay. My dad has been, do you want to tell them like how long you've been working? If you don't want to tell them exactly what you do, that's fine, but how long you've been working and like why it was important for you to provide like for your family.
Well, currently I'm an employee at the U.S. Postal Service. I've been a mailman for 33 years. The opportunity came about when I was working in Wall Street, and I took the test, never paid attention to it, and then he called me. And then I spoke to a friend who took the test, passed, and I hired him, and he told me about the benefits. And Nisha was my second child on the way, and the benefits were enormous compared to what I was working currently, in the past. So I went for the opportunity to take advantage of the benefits, and after that, the job paid well, benefits were great, and job security was outstanding, so I stuck with it, talked it over with my wife, and here I am now. So,
I have a few questions. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited because I really wanted to do this. I've been planning this for a couple weeks, actually. Just schedules didn't line up, and so I'm really excited. So, first question is, what motivates you to like get up in the morning, go to work? I mean, you've been doing it now for so long. I'm sure now you're older, you probably like, some mornings are probably like, but maybe they're not. But what motivates you to like really show up every day?
Well, to most people this might sound pathetic, but I like to work. I have no problems with work. What I don't like is to beg, so I have to work to get what I want. I had a responsibility. I was a dad. I had 3 mouths to feed, a son, a daughter, and a wife, and I'm not going to ask anybody for that. I'm going to do it. So work to me is pleasure, and when I can provide for my family, that's the rewards right there. So even to this day, I could work to eternity, but physically I just can't do it, so I'm gonna retire soon, but if I didn't have to retire, I would continue on.
So the next question that I have is, what stimulates you? I know you said like providing for your family, but there still has to be, especially your job, the elements you deal with. You're outside, rain, sleet, hail, snow, and you went from New York to Florida, which is like, at least New York has seasons, so you don't get stuck in one season, no weather, whatever, but in Florida it's hotter. So did you feel like a change when you went from New York to Florida? Like, was it hard for you to adjust? Did you feel like, I don't want to do this?
Well, because of the opportunities that Mom had, that was a major reason why we transferred. But I did have I was very hesitant because I had a route for 21 years. It's hard to leave. But the opportunity knocked for Mom, so as a team, we went together. Now, coming down here, a friend of mine said, if you can make it through the summer, you can make it all year round. And that's when we came down here. We came down here in May, and believe me, that first summer was brutal. Mom could even tell you that there were times when she really thought the transfer was a mistake. But I told her no, let's persevere, and we did. And now I tell all my friends, even tourists, don't come to Florida during the summer. Come after, like October through May. Right, that's when you come. During the summer, leave it for the scavengers, like the turkey vultures out there. Let them burn in the summer. But the transfer was worthwhile. You see, my daughter's down here, and she's doing great. Not knowing how she would do in New York, but she's doing great down here. With her profession, the weather is a factor. And with my job, the weather is a factor. So Florida has basically 2 seasons, which is summer and spring.
I don't think it has 2 seasons. I think it has hot and hotter. But transitioning into what you were saying, like about my career and what I do. I mean, most people know, if you read my background, I came from a nursing background and then discovered, you know, a liking for visual arts, and, you know, my business has been thriving for a few years now. So this is where we get into like a little bit more nitty gritty. So as a parent, even though I'm, you know, above a certain age and I don't live with you and stuff like that, I know parents are still concerned about their children. So what would you say was like one concern when I transitioned from being a nurse, which seems like a more secure job, to being a creative and owning my own business? Like, what, as a parent, how did you feel about that?
Well, all parents want their children to take the right path. You never know until they take that path. But nursing, to me, because I'm an older generation,
You be honest,
seemed like a more, you know, substantial career, a stable career. I mean, when Nisha told me she's going to be a photographer, she had a camera in her hand. She came out of the room and said, "Dad, I had enough. I'm going to be a photographer." As a father, I'm not going to say no to her, but I think I remember I said, "Nisha, good luck." And when I walked away, yes, my heart was heavy, but I'm not going to stymie my daughter and tell her no, yes, no, yes. She's a grown woman. She has to make her decisions like her dad and mom. And whatever road she takes, you know, mom and dad will support her. If she falls down, we'll help pick her up. If she walks on her 2 feet, we'll clap our hands and say congratulations. So the career move that Nisha made was something that I know I wouldn't do. I don't have the courage. But she does. And look at her now. And if I would have said no, I wouldn't be here doing this interview.
That's true. That's true. I like that, the courage, because it does take courage to do something that is not normal, something that seems less secure. So I like that. Okay, we're good.
Are you going to do mom one day?
Yeah, but I gotta, her interview's gonna be different.
Yeah, I know. Flowers and smelling incense.
No, it'll be right here, but it'll be different. Okay, so we talked about courage, and you know, there was a little reluctance, is probably the word, on your end as a parent, even though I'm of age, growing on my own. What would you say is like, at what point did you start to see like, wow, my daughter is a business owner, she's successful, she's getting, you know, awards and being booked? I can tell you right now,
you cut that question down, I don't mean to interrupt. When I started saying, "Hey Nisha," you know, and then you said, "Dad, I know what I'm doing, thank you." That was the end of that.
So my confidence and affirmation gave you relief.
Which is a part of me to you.
Okay.
Because I'm that way too. When I know what I'm doing, I thank you for the advice, but hold the advice.
See where I get my straightforwardness from? Okay, so how do you see my business now? I mean, you've seen it from the infancy when I was, you know, I mean, look guys, you know I'm transparent. I was working from your home in my bedroom in a corner, late nights. Some nights I wouldn't sleep, some nights I wouldn't eat. They would go to sleep and then knock on my door, open the door, and I was up, you know, editing or doing something to build my business. When you look at it from then till now, what are 3 things that like stand out to you as far as, you know, seeing that whole journey?
Well, I know you're gonna laugh when I compare you to somebody. Okay. Your career was like Bruce Lee. When he first came into the scene, people were like, "Wow, man, who is this guy?" When you came onto the scene, people were like, "Wow, look at this young lady. She has talent, and look at what she produces." You kind of set the standard to where people say, "Hey, you know, I like her style. I'm gonna go that way." So your career skyrocketed, it really did. And when you showed me those awards, and I'm scratching my head, I'm like, "Huh? You know, how do they know her?" And of course, your product. And then when your product was published in the magazines, oh yeah, I went to work and I was showing people, I was taking people's magazines that I was delivering, showing them pictures of my daughter, and like, "Yeah, okay, Tom, yeah." And it says Nisha Collins, and they're like, "Wow, yeah." So yeah, your career really is like the space shuttle.
Do you, like, looking at me now, how do you think my career has affected my personal life?
Well,
does that bother you as a father? Like,
not at all, because I think you handle your career and your personal life perfectly, because like this line here, and like I tell Mom, your career is here, your personal life is here. You can't mix the two. You mix the two, it becomes chaotic. You look at movie stars, look at famous people. There's a time for pleasure and there's a time for work. So that's how you handle it. When you're working, I call you, you say, "Dad, I'll call you back later. I'm working." Just like when you call me, what do I tell you? "Nisha, I'll call you back, I'm a little busy." And then when that time comes, then that time is where it's available, where whatever you want to do or want to say, just like me. So I understand where you're coming from with that, and I think that's what every professional should be.
So an interesting fact, and I won't give exact numbers just because it's a little more personal on his end, but I know that my dad has a lot of PTO, paid time off, a lot. Like, I would say anywhere between 2 and 5 years. Let's just play it safe there. How the heck do you even have that much time off? I mean, I know it has a lot to do with you work. I mean, I've seen you go, you have a cold right now. You were just at work yesterday. I've seen you go to work. Even when we've had family emergencies, he makes sure his family's okay and he goes right back to work. Why don't you take time? I mean, I need to reword this, because as you've gotten older, you have taken more vacations, sparingly, but how do you not work? Like, as far as, why do you have so much paid time off?
Well, the reason why I have paid time off is because that's insurance. 12 years ago, I had an accident playing basketball after work.
I remember.
And I remember that. And I took the whole summer off. Now, my bosses wanted me to come to work and work part-time, and I said, no, I have enough time to where I could take the whole summer off. And they said, yeah, okay, because they had no choice. So I took the whole summer off. That's what that time was for. I healed. I came back 100%. So that's insurance. And like I said in the beginning of the interview, I see work differently. I see work as kind of a pleasure thing. So
it's not work to you then.
Right. So why should I call in sick when I'm not sick?
Right.
Save it when I am sick, or when injuries or emergencies happen. Like, mommy gets sick, you get sick, David gets sick. You might need me, And if I don't have that time, yes, I'm going to argue with my boss, and things are going to get ugly. So when I do have the time,
You take it.
like I did when I had my knee scarred, I took the time, and there's nothing my bosses could say. But it's insurance, and everybody needs some form of insurance. That was priceless insurance, and it came handy.